Hi, my name's Julie Heslin. I'm a service coordinator at Turning Point Scotland in Edinburgh. I've been involved in the Take Home Naloxone programme now since approximately 2011. I was trained up as a trainer for trainers to get our service users involved, get them trained on how to use Take Home Naloxone. It's been really quite successful here. Probably didn't realise how successful it was going to be until it actually started, and we told service users about it, what the programme was all about and what the reasons for it were and why we were rolling out something as important as this. We were probably met with a little bit of resistance at the beginning because the thought of injecting somebody else with a drug that might bring them round, would they harm them, would they hurt them, all that type of stuff was probably quite scary at the beginning for some of the service users. But as we got the programme started and word of mouth got round to amongst the peer groups that we were working with, that this was actually a really, really important piece of training that they could be involved in and that they could actually save lives, it started to get a lot more popular, and we've trained a good couple of hundred people, I would say, at least. We have got involved in lots of different initiatives to try and spread this out a bit and try and reach as many service users as we possibly can. We've recently got involved, along with the Scottish Drugs Forum, in the peer naloxone programme, so we're now involved in the initiative that allows service users to train other service users in how to deliver take-home naloxone. So again, it's reaching out and branching out and allowing service users to get more involved and probably empower them a little bit more in terms of their peer communities to make sure people are safe and understand what naloxone is and the benefits of that. It's started off, and we're now involved in the peer training programme, but it started off that we would just allow service users to come in at any time of the day. We've got a triage and a drop-in service here at Turning Point Scotland. So service users can come in at any time of the day, they don't need an appointment, and we can get them trained on the naloxone. If they've got a spare 15-20 minutes or they want a more thorough training session on it, it really depends on the person. As long as they go away with the main aims and objectives and they feel comfortable in using naloxone, we're happy. And obviously that's all signed off by our GP. We started off with a dedicated day, and people could come in on a particular day in a group session and get involved in the programme itself, but we then opened that up to be as flexible as we possibly could so that people could come in at any time of the day, and we weren't putting any barriers in place to people actually getting involved and being trained for the naloxone. So I think that's very, very important that, say somebody comes into our needle exchange, for example, and we start talking to them about naloxone and they're quite keen, rather than say, oh, come back next week, we've got a group that does that, being able to train them there and then, I think, is what's important, to get as many people trained in naloxone as possible. We feel it's really important here because it allows individuals to, as I said earlier, be empowered to look after themselves, to look after their peers in their local community. It also lends a hand to things like friends, families, parents of individuals who perhaps use opiate substances, to allow them to perhaps feel a bit more safe in their own homes if they know that their loved ones or friends or brothers or sisters perhaps use opiates, that they maybe feel a little bit more safe having this training. It also allows service users to become more aware of the signs and symptoms of overdose. There's a lot of myths out there that service users might feel that, oh, I'll walk somebody around a room and try and bring them out of their stone or their gouch, or some of the terms that might be used, when actually that's one of the worst things you could possibly do. So it's really good in the fact that when we do train somebody, we'll go through the signs and symptoms of overdose, what to do, what to look out for, what would be more harmful to an individual, what would actually be beneficial, phoning ambulances, that types of things. Things that in the past service users might have been actually a bit scared to do, like phoning an ambulance, or the police going to come, am I going to get in trouble, all those types of things that probably put people off intervening in that way before. I think we've been able to dispel some of the myths with that and allow them to feel more strong and more able to deal with what is a really scary situation. Also, I think what's important is the feedback that we get from the naloxone programme, the people that we've trained, the people that have actually had to use the kits themselves. It can be a really scary and daunting experience, and it's good that when we actually train somebody up with naloxone, we make it very clear to them that if they do have to use it on anyone, in a life-threatening situation, that they should, come back and have a chat with us about it, offload what was the experience like, because it could be, quite difficult. Perhaps they brought the person round successfully, in which case, hopefully that's been a positive experience, and it's, kind of filled them with more confidence to be able to perhaps do that again, or come and do the training for trainers and support other peers to do the same. I've had lots of service users thankfully come back and have used naloxone successfully, and the kind of the confidence, the joy, the empowerment is fantastic to see. And I think it's really, really important that this is a nationally backed programme, because at the end of the day it's been proved that training people in naloxone, it saves lives. Really, really important, and it's something that we're very, very passionate here about keeping up and getting as many people trained as we possibly can.